folks, welcome. That's a Glory Hunter with me on DoctorBenjy FM. I hope I find you extremely well on this Thursday. I hope you're good. So then, what have we been up to since we last met? I'm sure you're curious. These boys have been putting in a shift. It turns out, and again, not going to be a surprise to many of you, even though he feels forced out of the club, Erling Haaland, good footballer, big fan. That's how we feel about Erling Haaland. It's been a lot of wins, 8 in fact, across loads of different competitions. It's a very busy period at this point in the season. The 6-1 win over Leicester to me was the absolute highlight. I'd call it dominant. It was 4-0 by half time, and that didn't really stop. Similar situations against Wolves as well. High scoring so far, 26 goals in the league. And today we're going to play 2 matches then in the league and 1 in the Champions League, one against ZEBRE. Excuse me. There we go. We're back. That didn't affect anything at all, did it? I realised I did that, and all I did was hit my own face. Chest, body, pun. So we beat Monaco 4-1 in our first group game, and then a 3-0 victory over Lokomotiv Moscow in the second group game. Before the toughest game of the group, I would say away against ZEBRE before playing Manchester United. And just to show you that league table once again, they are the team closest in challenging us right now. Someone's O has got to go. Well, not necessarily. Much like boxing, it could be a draw. But the team has been performing really, really well. The highlight for me is that Ollie is finding pretty regular form right now. And this sort of side, again, it's quite easy to do relatively well, but you can see goals and assists sort of sprinkled across his recent performances. That's what you want to see. Diaz is, again, putting in good performances. Everyone looking good. And Trent right now, again, back to the Premier League screen. 6 assists to his name, a 7.84, playing this new role of deep line playmaker, with Alfonso being the Mazzala. Again, a great suggestion from someone in the comment section. Sometimes I read them, and sometimes they're lovely about me, and sometimes they suggest good things. So we like the comment section at the moment. Let's see then how we do in this away game in Turin against Juventus. It's going to be tough, and I'm excited for it because this is the sort of game which lets me know where we stand compared to Italy, for example. I think we're probably slightly better than the teams over there. Thomas Tuchel in charge then as Moise Kean, Raspadori up front, Chiesa in there as well. That's actually quite a good side. The more I look at it, the more I think, wow, that's quite nice. Leroy Sané and John Stones in that squad as well. Very interesting lineup. Okay, right. It's a Champions League game. They're always big, they're always exciting, and they always produce a moment or two. So let's see what moments we're going to experience today. You can see their impeccable form right now, and the bench is looking strong as well. Lots of impact players if required, as you see the away fans have travelled. That's what the group looks like then. 6 points so far out of the first 2 games. Again, beating the 2 sides you're expecting us to beat, but this again, probably the toughest group game. And kind of the only group game that matters. I feel like if you win this, it's sort of decided. If you don't win this, there's a few more question marks, and maybe we'll return to a group game later in the future. But yeah, we start the game 10 minutes in. Quite passive, quite quiet. Again, starting on this attacking way of playing, which again, away at Juventus might be a little bit brave. And actually, I think it is a little bit brave. We're going to knock it back to our more traditional, balanced approach, see if we can slow things down a little bit, find our way into the game. As a corner goes the way of Juve. Very early on, as De Ligt heads just over at that front post. It was a good delivery. He should arguably have done slightly better. He was largely unmarked, I would say there, which wasn't great. I see Porto beating Virgil van Dijk's Inter with another Italian team struggling just a bit. Weston McKennie's picked up a booking in one of the most boring halves, well, nearly boring halves you've ever seen in your whole lives, as we've got the ball under our control momentarily then, and will we create something magical from this moment? That's the dream, isn't it? That's the hope, as Skriniar goes all the way back to Alisson, who launches one forwards, and Haaland, they're not really picking him up. Oh my word, if there's one man in the Champions League specifically you can't let that happen to, it's Erling Haaland. They just sort of fell asleep is the phrase I want to use. It's a brilliant ball over the top. Like this bit, it looks a little bit nervy. And then it's a big clearance. Look at that from Alisson. That is amazing as a pass. And then Haaland just takes one touch, and it's in the back of the net. So easy. Out to the left-hand side, slotted home, and we lead 1-0. In our first shot of the game, by the way, it's one big direct ball up through the middle. There'll be loads of questions, you suspect, at half-time for that Juve back line, who have just let the ball float towards them. Not good at all. And well, it's like bosses, isn't it, viewers? You wait for a highlight, and now 2 come along at once as Alexander-Arnold finds Ollie on that side. The pace, the little burst of acceleration. You'd love to see that drilled across, cleared away as far as Tariq Lamptey into Trent Alexander-Arnold. Again, a big game coming up as well in midweek. So if we can get a couple more maybe and start resting players, that would be the dream. But of course, this game not over yet, as Juve, again, not a side that lie down easily, as Luis Diaz finds a little bit of space into the penalty area. It's an abysmal finish. It looked harder to do what he did. And now, after a first half of, well, Nothing really. Action is happening. Luis Diaz, great ball into Haaland. I'm expecting something. It wasn't a save by the goalkeeper. We are 2 minutes into this half and we've already had more action than the entire first half. At the front post, you'll notice Kaya's there now. Kaya? Yeah, not Kaya. Different player entirely. Aya is there. I basically just added a letter. Who's in this team again? Someone remind me. So far, so good. Well, praise the boys. So far, we're leading away in Turin. We'll take this all day long. You can see from the group, if you just caught an eye of it, we go to 9 points then. And again, beating Juventus here is massive. Ball forward to Moise Kean as they're looking to do something. Their runs are quite telegraphed at the moment. They're not really running in behind as much. They're sort of running up towards our defensive players and not making that extra movement. My fear would be if they do at some stage, that would cause us some real bother. But it's allowing us to press them like quite comfortably. Is the ball out wide and maybe a double up on this left-hand side. Luis Diaz with some defending to do against Sergio Dest as the ball goes in towards the back post. There's Moise Kean. That is almost certainly a goal. I don't see anyone being offside there. I think Raspadori makes a lovely run off his defender. Moise Kean does brilliantly to head it down. I guess we're going to find out. I'd like to see it again, to be honest, as it is a goal. Yeah, it didn't look like it was a goal that shouldn't be conceded. Well, from me saying there didn't look like there was many threats at all from ZEBRE, this was too easy. Frankly, Skriniar falls asleep and Raspadori can't miss. We are 20 minutes to go. And as this is so typical of a video with me. It's ridiculous. I've bigged him up. I've shown him he's been playing well. And now he puts in one of his worst performances, well, that I've seen, frankly. We're going to get Diaz on. We're going to get Harvey Elliott on. Another inside forward added into the mix. I'm also going to put Trent at right back in this sort of occasion. I mean, Pellegrini on into the centre. I think Trent offers, again, that little bit more in the wide areas. And especially as you've got the inside forward now ahead of him, that natural width from Trent might be important. And speaking of which, he's on the corner now. He's got some options in the centre. If he wants to find one of them, it goes to the front post. It's headed away as far as Alfonso, who's got a little bit of time and space, and he turns himself and finds Trent, who finds Haaland. Right, he's offside. Okay, because I was about to get very cross at the gap of about, 8 foot that he didn't shoot into. What on earth? This is one of those games that as much as I really want to win it, and this feels quite like the Bournemouth game right now, other than the fact that we should have had a goal that we didn't get. And so far, it's the only game I've dropped points in, which is phenomenal, by the way. Pellegrini racing down this right-hand side. Can he get a ball into the centre? We've second half. We've been far the best. I can't believe Darwin Núñez. It's a massive chance gone begging. I don't know how he's not scored it. We've been much the better side, though. This has been really good after, again, a really boring first half. You've seen just from the chances we've had, we've been far, far better. As there is Núñez, finds Haaland. We've still got plenty of time to see something from him. And our possession here is pretty smart. The ball up to Haaland's excellent. The touch as well to take it away from defenders. And now Darwin Núñez in on goal. Is he? Not quite. He's got options in the middle. The challenge from McKennie comes in. Back to Alfonso. Laid off to Pellegrini. He's got a bit of space, a bit of a chance maybe. It's not particularly good. Harvey Elliott, I thought was offside, but it's going to count. Wow. 87 minutes gone. The substitutes, whether it be Núñez on one side or Pellegrini and Elliott on the other, produce a goal. And I thought when the shot went in that Harvey Elliott was stood offside. I guess I'm not right on that, but it looked, I guess not. No, he's level with the rest of the defenders. It seemed like he was in too much space. He just got there very, very quickly, actually. And we now then lead 2-1. Stayed unbalanced, stayed on the patient approach, basically played to the fact that we were looking pretty good. And is it about to be ripped away from me from a set piece? Yes, it is. Oh, it's so painful. Football Manager is so painful. I was so happy. And I could have gone defensive, but then it's a corner anyway. So, I don't know. Goes in, Delit, basically a free man, gets ahead of Aya and puts it in. And then the time, I've not even tried to win it. I'm just too sad. It's up. Well, I thought I'd won. 1-1 in the toughest game of the group. It's not the worst thing. I still think we are on track to win it. I can't quite believe that I feel like I've had a win stolen, frankly, viewers. We now then go to Manchester United. Away, I think it is as well. Yeah, it is at Old Trafford in 3 days' time. And, well, it's there to be won. Mate, the amount of chances we've just had against ZEBRE. How have we not scored more goals? Disappointing. All right, we'll get these boys well rested. I'm actually going to give them 2 days off before the game against United. That is the lineup that I want to play against United, so I want them all ready to go. Thursday and Friday, have it off, boys. Don't worry about your training or your match preview. Just be ready. I think they still do the match preview, surely, because that's not... Match preview is just a sit-down meeting, I'm pretty sure, so that, it's fine. Unless they do just stay at home. No, I'm not sure. All right then, next game up. And I mean, my question would be here really, whether I'm going to start him or not, or bring in the experience of the fridge is kind of what I'm wondering. But I think we go with the exact same lineup that played the last game. This is the man that I'm expecting so much more from. We just saw so little from him in that game just now. I want to see a whole lot more, mate. Come on. He's an interesting player. We could drop him even deeper and have him sort of like burst forward. But I mean, let's see. And I'm still, as much as I love Trent in that role, I'm also very much aware that a lot of his good performances are against the lesser sides. Now, admittedly, when you're Liverpool in the Premier League, you're playing against lesser sides more often than you're playing against the elite sides. But on this occasion, today, he's playing against the elite sides, and Souček and Fernandes in central midfield are going to be a battle. Adeyemi as well in there. Some very, very good players. And Coensao, who is definitely how you say it, right, guys? Probably. I think so. Coensao. I'm sure that's how you say it. Consicao. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Consicao. Probably. Oh, good. Luis Diaz picks up a very early injury then, and the most obvious man to bring on in this occasion is probably Sadio Mane, actually, over Darwin Núñez. So that's the switch we're going to make. A man of great experience to bring on in this type of game. Might be what it's required, actually. You look at the back line, no Varane for them today. I don't know if he's left them, but it's Maguire and Fofana at the back. And let's face it, Fofana, not a bad player at all. We've been on attacking this whole time, and we've not had a moment of, like, excitement yet. So we're going back to balance, similar to how we did against ZEBRE. The question is, do we think that United are better than Juventus? That's the real question. I think it's probably edged towards United if I had to give it one way or the other. So here we go then. Trent finds Fabinho, and again, it's all about getting the ball up to Erling Haaland and interlinking with the players around him. That's what you want to see from him. Blimey, so he got some defenders to go with him there, and then he ran in behind, and it was very, very easy for him. It forces a corner. But so far, again, it's been pretty quiet. We could throw Haaland into the mix centrally as well. They always have someone come out to mark him every single time as he lets that ball run out for a throw-in. As he puts his arm up and goes, that's ours. And the referee goes, obviously. Free kick. Trent, end of the half, goes for it. Oh, it's an excellent effort. Pena gets a brilliant save to put it behind for another corner. But I don't expect to see much from this one. Andy Robertson ball in and headed away. And again, some chances towards the end of that half. Again, I do think we're much better on balance. Going attacking, it seems a little bit too, I don't know, aggressive sometimes. Again, all a little bit too quick. I'm going to say we owe Manchester United after the last time we played them, which was obviously last season. And I think we played them about 15 times. So it's hard to know which game we're talking about. Where are we going? Into Alfonso. Lovely stuff. That's a nice little bit of dribbling from him. Finds Erling Haaland. If you go around the keeper, he should have gone around the keeper. I know it would have taken it onto his right foot, but it seemed like the obvious choice there. I don't know why I didn't make the move. All right, let's encourage these boys. So far, it's very similar, actually, I realise, to the game against Juventus. That if you don't lose this game, you're pretty happy in all reality. But of course, winning it, and you give yourself a pretty monstrous advantage, especially the way the league is right now. Again, neither side have lost this season. This is the big one. This is the one everyone's been talking about. The question is, can we be the team to come out on top as Alfonso and Haaland combine nicely? And there's Trent Alexander-Arnold and now Ollie on that right-hand side. We've got to try to get him involved more. On the ball again he is. And he finds Lamptey this time with pace in behind perhaps. Can he get a ball into the centre? Haaland's free. You do not let him free in the penalty area. The movement of Haaland to step away from his defenders, you can see how annoyed they are. It's Manchester United 0. It's Liverpool 1. Another game is in our hands. Now I'm going to make a move here very quickly as the goal goes through again. I'm sure you've just seen it, so hopefully you can remember it. I'm going to make him an attack winger now. I'm going to really push forward the advantage maybe now of having them try and break, try and come forward, and I want Ollie and I want Mane to sit in those advanced positions, and we'll see something magical happen. That's the dream. As we've got a free kick, I think, on the edge of the box here. That's quite exciting. I mean, who's going to take it? I think Trent's on this. They don't pick up a booking for the foul, but it's a very Trent angle right now. In fact, I'm backing him. It's 2-0 Liverpool. It was nearly 2-0 Liverpool. It was nearly 2-0 Liverpool. Wow, Haaland went for it, didn't quite get the goal. And yeah, we still remain in the lead though. As a corner we played in, as you can see there, it's floating, viewers. I mean, thank goodness that we've established that fact. As Robertson ball in, oh, he is there as well, cleared away. A big chance again, goes begging. The problem is at 1-0, they've always got this type of opportunity to break. We've got to try and run in wide if we can, maybe put a challenge in before the ball makes its way to the penalty area. Bruno Fernandes. They're not done here, United, towards Pogba. Skriniar with an amazing leap and head away. And I didn't realise it, and I'm so sorry. This is one of the weirdest cuts and edits I've ever had. It stayed at 1-0. It stayed a 1-0 win. After that amazing header, it ended everything. Or alternatively, it's been a while and my OBS filled up and decided to stop recording, so I had to just delete loads of files and do this little end bit of the video. I'm so sorry you missed it. It was 1-0 though, and it was the end of the game was a little bit drab as well. We had sort of that big chance after the goal, but then that was it. Yeah, a 1-0 win. Solid from us. I guess the question is, this Luis Diaz injury, how bad? Oh my God, it's bad. Okay, special 7 to 9 weeks. Deary me, that is not season destroying, but it's quite bad, isn't it? It's not ideal for us. But that then is going to conclude this episode. Again, sorry for the weird cut after the screening header, but defensively we held on. I wasted a bit of time towards the end, and United couldn't find a way through, fortunately for us. But that's going to conclude then. If you enjoyed it, do drop a like on it. Want to see some more, make sure you are subscribed. And apologies for the weird edit. That won't happen again.